It's the Tony Rose Morning Show on Sam 100.7, and on the line with us, you may recognize her as CTU agent Michelle Dessler from the Fox TV show 24, 3 seasons there. Of course, now you know her as the new county chaplain Julia Dupree on the hit TV show ER. Reiko Aylesworth, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you doing?
I am doing super, man. Thank you so much for taking some time out to join us. We are so starstruck having, somebody from ER joining us, here on the radio. How are things going for you?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I feel really lucky to be, I feel lucky to be working in the midst of this writer's strike, but it's, to be on this show and play such a cool character, it's a lot of fun.
Now you mentioned the writer's strike, so we'll talk about it just for a second. What's the vibe? You're in there, you're in the middle of it, you're around it the whole time. How is it going to affect ER if it keeps going out? What's your opinion about it? Come on, give us something here. Give us something.
Okay, well, in my opinion, and not that I know anything that everyone else doesn't know, but I think the writers, what they're asking for is completely fair given what what the studios make.
Right.
On the other hand, I'm from Chicago, and it's a big union town, and it's not like you're talking about sheet metal workers that are trying to make a living wage.
Right.
So but also you've got people who are dependent on this economy who are not making what the writers make, what the actors make, what the directors make. They're just getting by.
Right.
So people who work the crew, people who own the donut shop across the street, who are used to people coming in from the studios, and this is going to bleed out to the economy in the whole country eventually. So it's a big economy in our country. So I hope it resolves really soon, because I'm already seeing people who are hurting.
Yeah, that's I think a lot of people don't think about it. They think, it's just the actors, they got plenty of money anyway that's affecting. You're right, it's everybody, down to the guy where they stop and get their coffee at every morning. It's a trickle down thing. So so how are things going? You're on ER now, it's got to be a fun vibe. How long's ER been around now? For like 20 years, something like that?
I think 64 years.
I got two questions.
Before there was TV, there was ER.
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of came with the package. All right, first of all, what is it like just walking the same hallways that guys like Clooney walked, and Anthony Edwards and Eric LaSalle? What is it like working the same hallways, the same set and everything that those guys used to work on? What's that vibe like?
Oh, it's great. It's actually been on 14 years.
Yeah. And
to be on something that you kind of have grown up with,
right,
was so groundbreaking, and is still really pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
It's great to be part of something like that. We just shot in Chicago a couple scenes the other day, and
right.
I grew up in Chicago, and we shot outside the theater. I saw my first play, so it's really coming full circle. Like, I probably started watching the show in Chicago. It's really it's a really great feeling. And
so it hits home for you, because there's so much of it that it's like, I really know the vibe of what this area is like that I'm in and everything. That's got to be something that I guess you have an advantage over that a lot of the other guys on the show probably have no idea about. The fact that you're from the same areas that you're probably talking about every week.
Yeah, and I love that city. I love Chicago. So it's great to go back home and I have a love for it.
It's kind of like like an athlete going back to play for his hometown team, or something like that, coming back and everything.
Exactly.
Now, and the other question is, what is it like working with Uncle Jesse, John Stamos? Is that cool or what?
Well, it's weird. I don't really, pay much attention to it, but when we're outside filming something in Chicago and you've got hundreds of people waving and yelling, Jesse, or Stamos, we love you. It's I go, oh, okay. I guess he's really, he's a big deal.
Well, and of course, you're a big deal as well. You did 3 seasons on 24, and what was that experience like? That show. It captures the nation in so many ways. What was it like being part of the 24 ride there for 3 seasons?
It was great. It was a great ride. I made some of my best friends on that show. And I really had no idea what kind of phenomenon it was until after it was done for me, really. Because it's one of those things, we were so insulated and in our workplace, and we worked such long, hard hours and long weeks, and we socialized together.
Right.
So I I didn't really get a sense of, and of course you're in Los Angeles, everyone thinks they're the hottest thing out there.
Right.
So, I never really bought any of that until I left, and you see, articles in the New Yorker and the New York Times about the effect of 24 on our military, and things like that. And you go, whoa, wait a minute.
And the fact that Jack Bauer's the baddest man on the planet. That's the other thing. It seems to go around everywhere. Yeah.
The baddest mofo around these towns.
So what else is going on? I noticed you got a big movie coming out this Christmas. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, Alien versus Predator, Requiem. It's a lot of fun. I'm really proud of it. It's bringing the aliens for the first time into our real present world.
Right.
And I get to play this military character who's a mother also, and run around shooting guns and being
killing aliens and predators, right? Yeah, hunting them down.
Yeah. It's fun. It's cool. It's got a great cast, and these guys that directed it, they are top guys in special effects, so it's going to look great.
Wow. Well, now how different is it, like getting ready for a movie versus getting ready for the TV show every week? Do you prepare differently? Do you get in a different mind frame? What's the process for you?
Well, it depends on the role. For Alien versus Predator, I had to work out 2-3 times a day.
Wow.
And because I had to look,
bless your heart.
Military.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Not what I do for a TV show. not what I do in my real life. But yeah, it depends on the show and on the, I would if you look at someone like Jennifer Garner for Alias, I'm sure she was working out constantly.
Wow. Well, hey, you know what? Thank you so much for coming on ER tonight. What can you tell us about tonight's show?
Okay. I'm a woman of God who gets it on with John Stamos.
There you go. Enough said.
And we do that tonight, then end up on an adventure. It's a great episode.
There you go. That's all you got to say. It's all good to go. Now, I know you ever do the YouTube stuff, search your name on YouTube and see what people post on there about you and everything like that?
Someone sent me a YouTube of, really bizarre stuff.
Well, I noticed where you did, there's like tribute videos to you. That a little creepy, I guess, a little bit. But I noticed where you did like the Tony Danza show. Now you've done the Tony Rose show in Kentucky. So now you've done both the two big important Tony shows out there. You've got them both on your resume now. So
I have an affinity for Tonys. Tony Almeida on 24 was my love interest, and Tony Gates on ER.
You have a Tony fetish. I love it.
I do.
There's an ID for my radio show right there. Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Continue. Best of luck to you. We'll look forward to seeing you on ER tonight. And then, of course, the new Alien versus Predator movie, which is out this Christmas. Thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure. Thanks.